All right. Uh, all right. So we're ready. My technicals weren't doing right. Got situated and then it wouldn't connect. So we're good now. I appreciate you guys hanging in there. Those of you who were in the waiting room. Oh man. But yeah. Welcome. Welcome to this presentation of consciousness ascending. We are live once again here. This is Thursday, uh, May the 29th. 2025, and we are excited for each of you. We're excited for those of you who are supporting, sharing in your energy, with your energy. It's going to help guide this conversation. We're excited for those of you who have found this recording, allowing us to be of support. If you are new, be sure to like. If you find value, subscribe. If you find value, comment. If you're inspired to new or greater awareness, if you haven't registered for our conscious discussions where we actually have live conversations with individuals, and you can find some of the replays for those here on this platform. But if you haven't registered for that, for when you are inspired to be able to participate, right now we have them on Wednesdays at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can check the description to go and register and get the Zoom information to be alerted for when those occur. Again, we're excited to be here. We're excited for each of you on this your journey of enlightenment, and it is our goal to support you to accelerate that process. Accelerate the process of transformation from the you that you're being now to the you that you intend to be, that creates the life that you intend to create, that you are inspired to create, and even greater than that, to get to know the you, the truth of you in source that is free of fear. Free of fear. That's the goal. That's the intention. And then you can take it from there. So, our topic today is achieving greater heights is in your nature. Let's talk about it. Conscious creators, achieving greater heights is in your nature. It always has been. It always has been. That's the reason why it's the biggest reason for the conflict, for any conflict that you feel. When you're torn on the inside, when you want to do this thing, but you don't feel like you can, or you don't feel like you should, when you want to do that thing, but you don't feel like you have the right resources or the right understanding or the right information or the right support, all of those things, those ideas, those inspirations that light up to you and that light you up are opportunities for you to move to greater heights, to move out of your comfort zone. Your nature is not one of being stagnant. Your nature is not one of staying in position. It's the reason you see something and you're like, ooh, I like that. That's nice. Ooh, that shirt is nice. The new shirt expands you. The new attire expands you. The next car expands you. That house, it expands you. The possibility speaks to you. It breathes to you. Now, is it something that you may or may not actually act on? Maybe, maybe not. But you have to be aware that the mere idea breathes to you. It breathes life to you and offers you the opportunity to expand. Yes, let's point that out. We want you to understand that just as for those of you who have taken responsibility, right? For those of you who have taken responsibility, who understand that you are creating, who understand that that which is appearing in front of you, whether it's great or not so great, is a reflection of something inside of you. For those of you who understand that when you are triggered into a low vibration, that which is inside of you is what gets triggered. An idea. gets triggered by something external. Something lines up with it and it triggers you to a low vibration. It's inside of you. For those of you who understand that, this is what we want you to know. When you experience something that lights you up, that excites you, that just causes you to feel good, it's also triggering something that's already inside of you. Think about that for a moment. When you see that thing or you experience that beauty and you begin to feel that heightened sensation, that excitement, that exhilaration, that freedom, that peace, that expansiveness, whatever it is that you're moved to, that was already inside of you as well. Oh, let's take it there. Think about this. Think about the unconditional love that you feel when you're in the presence of a new baby being born. For those of you who have had children and you've held that newborn baby and you have felt that exhilaration, that love that can't be described, that has no conditions, that has no expectations for this newborn. The child is not putting that feeling inside of you, it's already there. Think about that. When you're inspired to confidence, when you're competing in a sporting event or in a company event and you win the competition and you feel that confidence and you feel that knowing and that certainty that I did this or we did this or we accomplished this, that feeling was already there. It wasn't placed into you, it was already there. It was triggered through the event or through the accomplishment. And what we're getting at is that everything that you need is already inside of you. You don't have to try to be confident, it's already there. You don't have to try to love unconditionally. That level of love is already there. Because when you're triggered to those ideas that we just described, just as when you're triggered to frustration or anger, they're already inside of you. So the question is, what are you cultivating? What are you cultivating? What is your norm? And is it supporting you or allowing you to breathe your truth, which is to constantly be expanding and reaching for greater heights? For that's your norm. For that's the truth of source. Source is constantly expanding. And so your nature is expansion, right? There's nothing you have a job, you have a position, or you have a business, but you're thinking or feeling always about more, about how you can be better or what's the next level. That's normal because it's in your nature. That expansion, the desire to expand, that urge to expand is in your nature. So many get caught up with the material things and say, oh, you shouldn't want better. You shouldn't want a bigger house or you shouldn't want a nicer car. But it's about what is required of you that enables you to acquire that. There's nothing wrong with the inspiration because it's about the journey in between. It's about the growth that occurs in the process of creation. You have to understand that. It's always about the in between. For anything you achieve, anything that you accomplish, anything that you create, the minute you do that, the process is over for that thing. It becomes history. It becomes a part of the past, something that you did. And so the next step is to immediately create a next. What's the next goal? What's the next possibility that pulls you, that expands you? Understand that life can be lived considering the past, which is what many do, and it's not the consideration of all the things that happened great. It's the consideration of that which went wrong, that which they should have done, which they had done, and that is holding them in low vibration. It can also be lived in the considering of the next, in reaching for higher, but not just wishing and hoping, but the action, the activity of growing into that idea, growing into that goal or that dream, because your nature is about expansion. Your nature is one of growth. It's the reason you're here on your plane of existence now, to create experience that grows your knowledge, grows your understanding, expands your soul's bank of knowledge and information. It's what's been happening all along that has brought you to this point, to where you're open to entertaining communication from a non physical collective. For some of you, 5 years ago, you wouldn't have been here. 10 years ago, you wouldn't have been here. It's kind of clicked over here in the past few years. But this iteration of life is not what brought you to this point. Many iterations of life, many life experiences that only you hold and only that you know have brought you to this place, growth and expansion. And there's so many pieces, so many parts that once you allow the pieces of the puzzle to come together, or when they begin to come together in a creative process, understanding that, taking control of that, beginning to master that, taking responsibility for that which is occurring outside of you, for that which you are being, understanding that that which is occurring outside of you is reflecting you, turning your attention inward, focusing on that which you are creating, who you are being, the vibrational energy expression that you are offering on a consistent basis. When you start putting all these pieces together, it is immensely empowering, because once you get to the point where you have accepted that you are creating and you have proven to yourself that you are creating, now you can get about the play and practice of releasing everything that is separated or in conflict with the truth of you in source, that is immense and that is powerful and that explodes into new opportunities, into new horizons without hesitation. Whatever it is for you, whatever it is for you. Benny's two younger sons got into basketball. He didn't know they were going to be as interested and as passionate about it as they are, but they are. And so, how many years ago? 3, 4 years ago, maybe. He asked them if they wanted to play at the Y, at the YMCA organization, as a means of practice and getting experience. And he took that opportunity to coach basketball. He's been a coach before, but he hadn't coached basketball. So they said yes. He got about the business of learning the details and things of that sport. And because he is a competitor, always has been, he realized that it is exhilarating to coach, to coach a sport, specifically coaching basketball. Did not know how it was going to actually feel. He was doing it to be an experience that he and his sons had together. Didn't realize the experience and the opportunity that was going to be for him. It's exhilarating to coach, to support, and for the guys to go out, guys and girls, they've had a girl on their team. In the summertime, it's co ed, for them to go out and to perform. And he's learned it's caused him to grow, to expand. He's realized that a lot of some of it has to do with the athletes, but a lot of it has to do with the coach, the mindset, the mentality of the coach that he gives to the team. And he realized how much he has bridled himself, not just in sports, but in his life. How he has bridled his voice, bridled his conviction, bridled his ability to inspire others. And so the more he allowed himself to be fully as a coach, the better the team played. And over the seasons, they have gotten better and better, not because the athletes or the players have gotten better, but because he has allowed himself to be more expressed as a competitor. So, in whatever direction you are inspired to go, whatever direction you're inspired to expand to, it is you moving into new heights, allowing you to expand yourself, to grow, to create a new, revealing new resistance, new conflict to that expansion, which you play and practice to release and establish yourself anew. Who am I in the picture? And you continue. The process continues. Once you create the thing or get to a certain place and you're inspired to move to a next level or do something else, you continue because that is your true nature. Reaching greater heights, constantly moving out of your comfort zone, playing on the edge of comfort and chaos is your true nature. That's where life is exhilarating when you're free of fear, when you're free of the inner conflict to moving into new arenas. When you're free of the fear, when you're free of the insecurities and all the things that you have been conditioned to, the truth of you and source says, oh, man, this is going to be fun. Man, we got to work out this solution. We got to find the answer to this challenge that has presented itself. But man, this is exciting. Not that it's terrible and I hate this and this is difficult. No, it's exciting. It's exciting because it's causing me to breathe and create myself anew. It's causing me to open up and to expand and to grow into a greater being than I was yesterday. When you're free of fear, your perception is different. When you're free of fear, your interpretation of life events are different. When you're free of fear, you're on the attack of growth and expansion. You're on the attack. You're the aggressor of creating solutions and answers to challenges. You don't shy away from them and you're not defeated by them because you're so much more than that. Oh, that's what makes us burn. That's what makes us burn. That's what we want for you so much to be able to see and get a glimpse of who you are, the truth of you in source, not when you make your transition, but now while you're living your life on your plane of existence and begin to engage in and align yourself with the life that you actually intend, with the life that's trying to breathe itself through you and simultaneously being a light for those that you come in contact with. For that's what you are. Vibrationally, energetically, you are a light and will be a light to those that you come in contact with. Without even saying a word, your vibration, your energy signature is infectious and it affects those that you come in contact with. If they are in the position and able to tune to your frequency, Just like that, they may be inspired to an idea for a business. Just like that, they may be inspired to an idea or move into a higher vibration to where they go home and they're a better parent, a better partner, a better coworker or colleague because they came in contact with your energy. And if they by chance stay in that energy long enough for thoughts born of that level of frequency to come in, then it's possible that they are forever changed by their contact with you. Now that is based on where they are in their evolution, but you will never have any idea, maybe every now and then, but you never know how who you are being as a result of your growth and expansion sparks and inspires someone you come in contact with. And we're talking about your energy signature. We're talking about your vibrational expression. This has nothing to do with words being spoken. So the idea is twofold. The impact is twofold of you realizing who you really are, what you really are, and coming to know what you're capable of from a place of the absence of fear, from the space of the truth of you and source beyond the mind, beyond the body, who is free of the need to hesitate in their growth and expansion and acting on their inspirations. But each of you are on the path. Each of you are headed in that direction. Yes, you're in different places, but you're headed that direction. And we need you to know that. We need you to know that you can begin to ask the question of what that looks like in your meditation. Ask the question, what does that look like for me? Who am I that is free? You can ask the question. And in your meditation, you can get a glimpse. In your meditation, you can get a feel and begin to use that as contrast to what has been your norm. Begin to use that freedom that you're presented with as contrast to the fears, to the hesitation, to the insecurities that you know come up when you are inspired to do a thing or become a thing and you can't. Use it as contrast. Use it as something to begin to focus on. Use it as a goalpost, knowing this is where you're headed. And entertain that energy, that feeling as often as you can because you're reconditioning yourself to that state of being. That's what we need you to understand. That you are headed in that direction. So we'll take questions or comments. If you have anything, if you're inspired to anything based on what was discussed, even if it feels like it's something different from what was discussed, if you're inspired to it at this moment and you would like to chat about it through the chat, throw it in there and we'll take a few moments to entertain those ideas. Thank you. Hey, Catherine. Let's see. Thank you, Abraham. Just a comment that I've noticed that the journey hasn't always been fun or inspirational along the way. Even when I finally reached the goal, I suppose it was resistance. Yeah, it can be rough. And when we say rough, we're talking about the process of releasing resistance, the process of transformation. In the middle of transformation, it can be rough. It can not be roses and cookies and all of those things. The trick is to know that you are moving in the right direction. And here's how you know. And we know you're familiar with this, Catherine, but here's how you know. When you are playing and practicing to transform an idea, a fear that you've identified, and you're sowing the idea, the state of being of that which you intend to be. When you get to the space where you're able to see both possibilities, both choices, when you have an experience and you see the old pattern, but you also see the new pattern that you're creating, that you're establishing, that's how you know you're doing the right things. Because before you only had this one choice, this one road that you went down into frustration and anger and all of the things. Even if you can't take this path, when you begin to see a new potential way to be in a circumstance, when you're there with your family and they're doing the same things, but you're trying to choose to be different, that's how you know you're heading in the right direction, right? That's how you know the new state of being, the new ideas are gaining strength, that you have been entertaining, been giving them your attention and your meditation, and you've been excited and sending it love, the idea. That's how you know you're headed in the right direction. And then from there, it's just relax, relax, and know that it's a process. Know that you're reconditioning yourself, and keep your eyes on where you're going, and give as little attention as you can to anything undesired or any past states of being that you know you have expressed. But there's evidence along the way. Excuse me. There's evidence along the way that lets you know you're headed in the right direction. From inner transformation, you can see, like we said, you can see the ideas. Once you had no options, now you can see more than the old option available, even if you can't take the new option. If you keep doing those things, then you get to the point where you're able to begin to choose the new option versus just unconsciously moving into the old. That's one way. When you're attempting to create a new experience or an experience, this also, you also get evidence of the creation on approach. Any idea that you're holding, you will begin to see evidence of that idea on approach. An easy way to do it is with cars. The minute you begin to focus on a particular car, you begin to see it. You begin to see it. Now, one might say, well, those cars are all around. Those are regular cars. Okay. Begin to focus on and intend a rare car, an exotic car, something that you very rarely or maybe have never seen just moving around your city. And pay attention and notice how the information around that car begins to make its way to you. You begin to hear conversations about that particular car. You may see some commercials. A video may pop up on your social platforms that has that particular car in it. And then one day, week, 2 weeks, you may be driving and that particular car that you've never seen on the road passes you, or you see it at the intersection. Intending a specific manifestation gives, there are breadcrumbs. There is evidence of the thing on approach that you are intending, and you begin to create. See, the experience is materializing through these breadcrumbs that are begin to be scattered in your experience, and you can play with it. There's always evidence of creation, whether we're talking about inner transformation or an experience that you're trying to create. Thank you for that, Catherine. Mm, yes, yes. And that's part of the creative process. Catherine says, thank you. I'll look for that. That's part of the creative process. When you have an intention, whether it's personal transformation or you're trying to create an experience, Once you have the intention, begin to look for the evidence. In looking for the evidence, what does that do? Number one, it keeps your focus on that which you are intending, right? Which supports you in not falling prey to old patterns, right? Any ideas of disbelief. No, there's no room for that when you're looking for the evidence. You're going throughout your day. You're going, you're at your job or you're going to the store, but you're in the back of your mind, you're looking for evidence of that thing you're intending. So that means your attention is on it. You're focusing on it. You're feeling the feeling of the thing of the experience of the thing or the experience that you're trying to create. And you're doing everything right from a creative process. And the last piece of that is being okay whether it materializes or not. And if you're okay whether it materializes or not, you're not offering any resistance to it. But now, if you got to have it really, really bad, you need it, then you're probably expressing that you don't have it and you're in conflict with it. But if you're doing the things, but simultaneously, you know your source, you know you're taken care of, you know that everything is working out for you with perfect timing, whether this particular idea materializes or not, then you're not offering any resistance to it. And therefore, you are operating fully aligned with the process. But looking for the evidence of your intention is perfect. It's perfect. Just try to make sure that you're doing that last piece right, also, which is expressing that you're okay whether it materializes or not. That's what allows it to take form freely without resistance on your part being offered. Excellent. Excellent. Anyone else have comment or question? All right. Well, we thank you once again, each of you who have stopped by, each of you who have participated with your energy and supported us in creating this interaction. We're thankful for each of you who have found this recording, who are on this path of growth and expansion through your specific journey of enlightenment. Again, it's our goal to support you in accelerating the process. Make sure you check the description. Connect with us. If you're inspired, join us for our conscious discussions, again, which are live conversations via Zoom. And we have other more intense offerings that you can find in the description. We love you very much, and we will talk to you soon.